All right, scholars, we're now going to take a look at a conceptual exercise, some pretty straightforward part of the facts that you might see in a multiple choice question or in a full-blown task-based simulation. Now, in this one, we're going to learn a little bit about how to deal with filing status. So let's take a look at this first conceptual exercise. We got Tim. I'm single. I imagine my wife wouldn't be happy to hear that one. She'd say I got a little bit of a difference after 25 years. So Tim is single and provides all the support for his 85-year-old father, Peter. Pete looks pretty good for 85, doesn't he? I'll tell you, that man, I don't know what he's got going for him, but he's looking good. All right, so anyway, I take care of my dad, who doesn't live with me. He lives nearby in an apartment. I claim him as a dependent on my tax return. The question is, what's my filing status? Well, the answer is going to be, even though he doesn't live with me. Remember, for head of household, you can have a parent, they don't have to live with you. A kid has to live with you. Any other relative must live with you, and they have to be your dependent. So in this case, very simply, we qualify for head of household because he is my dependent. The fact that he doesn't live with me is irrelevant. So let's go to our next slide. You can see I'm going to check off right over here. Head of household. That's our first answer. Let's go on to our next one. Now, in this fact pattern right here, Angie. Angie is 35 years old and single. Angie works full-time as a teacher at a local elementary school and maintains her household for the entire year. All right, Angie pays all, in this case, pays all of the household expenses for her unemployed brother, Mike. I don't know. What do you think? Mike is a good-for-nothing guy in this particular problem, isn't he? Well, she pays for her good-for-nothing brother, Mike, who lives in a nearby apartment. Mike is 40 years old, is not a full-time student, and has no gross income. Mike meets the definition of a qualified relative because he is supported by her. But here's the problem. If it's your kids, okay, you got one set of rules. If it's your parents, it's a different set of rules. But if it's any other relative, and brother counts as an other relative, they have to meet two tests, don't they? They have to be your dependent and they have to live with you. In this case, he doesn't live with Angie. So, sorry, Ange, you're single in this case. So let's go to the next slide. On this one, we're going to click on number 1, single. All right, let's go to our next example. Now, in this example, Levi and Aaron are legally married as a same-sex couple. Hallelujah, we're finally progressing as a society. And in this case, they are recognized by the Internal Revenue Service as a married couple. Levi is 45 and works full-time as an attorney. Aaron is 43 and is currently unemployed. Levi pays for all the cost of maintaining their home. Well, it's irrelevant. They're married filing joint, right? They're married, period. December 31st control. So let's take a look at that example. On our next slide, we got married filing a joint return. So that was an easy one. One more we'd like to try with you. So let's go on and take a look at that. Roy and Beverly have been married for 56 years. 1 year ago, Roy died at the age of 87. Beverly continues to live in their home and maintains all of the cost of the home. Now you're thinking, can they file married filing joint? No. In the year of death, the answer is yes. But a year after death, sorry, we don't qualify for married filing joint. But now there's two other. Do we qualify for something like head of household? No, you need somebody else that you're taking care of, and that ain't happening here. Well, how about qualified widower, right? That one sounds real attractive. Yeah, she's a widow, may qualify, right? Wrong. Qualified widower is the 2 years after death, not the year of death. That's married filing joint. But the next 2 years after death, as long as you have that legacy, that baby, as we've said. In this case, there is no child. They're an elderly couple. So the answer is single. Let's go to the next slide and we'll show you where that gets clicked in, right there at number 1. All right, that hopefully answers a couple of simple, straightforward questions on filing status. And you're ready now to move on to the next exercise.